Hello guys and welcome back. In this video I'm going to show you how to propagate or just repot your sundews. I have quite a few. These are two of my bins. I have another bin over here as well as this bin. There's a bin underneath there. I have quite a few sundews. I like sundews. The main priorities are going to be these four little pots back here, which were seed grow outs. I think there's one cecifolia left in there. That one I might repot, I'm not sure. I think that's it right there. It's not very happy. I don't know why. I haven't grown that species before, so it seems to be unhappy. But first things first, you want to have your materials on hand. You can propagate and repot sundews in a variety of ways, but they do like to sit in water. That's why I like these bins. They're very, very good grow outs, as well as just for like my collection. So obviously you're going to need sundews handy or seeds. I'm not going to be planting any seeds today, but you can follow the same procedures. Here's my sundews. I've got labels. Very important to label your plants, especially if you're working with localities or very similar looking species. It's just good practice. Obviously something to write on the labels. Scissors for propagation. Got my pots right here. They're just a little, I don't know, 150 milliliter pot or so, somewhere around there. Just a little 2-inch by 2-inch cube, which I already should probably get more of. I've also got these 24-ounce deli cups, complete with lids, which is what I typically use to propagate in. And for substrate, I have a 5-gallon bucket here with about 2/3 of peat, as well as I have long fibered sphagnum right here, and perlite. I like to aim for a mixture of around 2/3 perlite, 1/3 sphagnum perlite mix, so about 1/6 of each. That's what I typically like to go for. So I'm going to go right ahead and add that stuff in. Before I add that in, I figure I may as well go over it. This is what I like, typically the end product looks like. Usually I add a little bit more water. This one's a little bit light. Oh yeah, water. I guess I should get a water canister ready. I've got some sprayers I like to use. So this right here is Drosera capillaris. You can see the plant in there. It's just starting to put out a flower stalk. So this is the size I typically sell them at, preferably with a flower stalk going. If they don't have a flower stalk, that is okay. And I can usually get around 10 bucks a piece for something like this. So, always fun to propagate. Funds my collection. And funds new ventures. And I love sundews, so happy to keep propagating them. But yeah, that's the end goal. Now I will make plenty more. Okay, now I have my bucket ready. I did also grab another important tool that I forgot to mention prior. Tweezers. Not necessary, but they make life a lot easier. These plants have very, very fine root systems, and they are quite delicate. So, and like when I'm working with, I'm not a small guy. Like this is my freaking thumb next to some of the larger plants, and then over here, like even smaller. Yeah, tweezers can come in very much handy. I do also have my water ready. I've got, what is that, half a gallon? I can't remember if these are 1 liter or 2 liter containers. But I have that much ready of pure water, distilled. I don't know what that is. And I've got my sprayer with another, it's only like a quarter full. So I probably won't use the sprayer. I'll probably just use this. But yeah, substrate is all ready to go. I can put the perlite and the sphagnum away now. I'll just put it off to the side for now. There we are. I did forget to mention, but the perlite you should be able to get at your average garden center. The sphagnum most garden centers will carry. I do have the white, fine, nice sphagnum, or whitish. If not, a pet store should have it. Typically the smaller pet stores that are more reptile oriented. So now I have my substrate ready. If you're planning on doing sowing from seed, I would chop the sphagnum finer with scissors or a knife even. Just kind of chop it up. If you're just replanting plants, it doesn't really matter. Or if you're doing leaf pullings, it doesn't matter too much. Sometimes it's just easier with, like you can get really, really long pieces of sphagnum, and then if a plant roots like directly in the middle of it, then you have to chop it after. It's just annoying. It doesn't really matter much in terms of the plant's health or anything like that, but it can just be a little bit more annoying to deal with. But yeah, this is ready to go. So now I'm going to get some pots filled and start planting some plants. Now I have 24 pots prepared. I usually either do them in groups of 6 or 12, like per species kind of thing. So now I get to pop this guy open. I'll start with probably, oops, this Drosera venusta, and the specific locality, don't know how you say that. No idea. TsidsiKmm. Yeah, I'm not even going to try it. So, I don't know how many plants are in there. 15 or so, maybe. Maybe a few more. So I'm going to get my tweezers and another container, and I'm going to pull these out. And then start labeling them and throwing them in some containers. Heck yeah. As you can see in this soil mixture, it's literally... Oh, if it'll focus. Hello? Phone? Well, yeah, I believe it's as focused as it's going to get. My phone does not like me, apparently. But this mixture is just straight peat that I planted these guys in, and that was from seed, and they did fine. I believe I only planted 25 seeds, and you can see there is quite a few plants there. It doesn't come up as good on camera, but you can use peat, sphagnum, you could use straight peat, you could use straight sphagnum, you could use sphagnum combined with perlite. You could do any combination of the three. I wouldn't do perlite on its own. I haven't really tried it, to be honest, but it just seems like it wouldn't work that well. Plus, cost-wise, it wouldn't really make sense. Peat is cheaper, and sphagnum is about the same, probably, for your bang for your buck. But, yeah, the combination of the three seems to be the best. You get the big chunks of sphagnum, help aerate the soil, and break up just the... so it's not just a thick, compact sadness like peat. Perlite also basically achieves the same thing. It's just aeration, so that you don't get any bad anaerobic bacteria, stinky, gross mess. So yeah, I'm going to start dividing that up. I got a little cup here that I'm going to place them in, and then throw them all around. Probably keep a couple plants aside, because I don't believe I have any mature ones of this Drosera venusta. And I have a couple extra bins right now, so I may as well chuck some aside. But yeah, that's the plan, and we'll update soon. Okay, I've got all these plants potted, or all these pots planted now, I should say. And I saved a couple in here for myself to keep aside for propagation in the future. These are just some seeds I grew out, so I figure I may as well save some for my own collection. Each pot I put in at least one in. I don't even see where the one is in here. I might have to put another one in there. Oh, it's like right there. Right, it's kind of hidden. It's kind of not a great color. That one's fairly obvious. But yeah, I try to stick with 1 or 2 per pot. Usually I have one pot not make it. It's like a 95% or so success rate. So yeah, now to write out some labels. This looks like it's going to be a fun name to copy 12 times. That was about 10 minutes of my life I'm never going to get back. I need to invest in a label maker soon. But in the meantime, I don't want to sacrifice losing knowledge about the plants. May as well know as much as you possibly can, especially when I'm selling them. If it's going to be used for any sort of research purpose or anything, may as well keep track. That was one of my conures. Okay. So now, to get these guys in their containers, and yeah, pretty much almost done now. I have half of my first round of the Drosera venusta done. I put approximately a half an inch of water. It really doesn't matter that much, as long as they're not drying out or that you don't fill up like half the friggin' cup. You can't really overwater most Drosera, especially the tropical species. There are some you definitely can, like the tuberous ones will definitely rot, but the non-tuberous species tend to be like almost impossible to overwater. So that's the go-to. And I'll let these grow up, and depending on how long I let them grow for, I can sell them for anywhere between, I'd say, $10 to $20 a piece. Usually that's about what I aim for. Yeah, then I'll move on to these guys. Sometimes I do leaf pullings as well. I'll probably make another video on that. Propagating by leaf cutting. It seems to work very, very good. Like if you want to have a large amount of sundews, but you don't really have a specific time frame, because it does take longer than just seed growing. Well, it actually kind of depends. I'd say they're honestly pretty close, but if you don't have the species to begin with, then obviously you can't do leaf pullings. Like a leaf pulling from Dross recompensis, for example, probably takes about 2 months to start producing babies, and it'll produce anywhere from 1 to 5 plants per leaf. Then those plants transplanted, you can have a mature flowering plant in 6 to 8 months, whereas from seed you could get it in about the same amount of time. So it's kind of like, if you have the amount of plants, yes, that's a great way to go. If you don't have that species already, then obviously you can't really do it. I don't know, it's fun to do both ways. I like to just change it up. It's neat. So gonna finish up these last few I've got beside me, and then move on to the next species. So yeah, now I'm moving on to Drosera Lyciae silver mine. Got a few plants in here. Don't know if I'm going to be able to fill up all 12, but we'll see. Those guys are all done, so now I'm going to get them under a grow light, growing, probably sell them in a month or 2. But yeah, that's about it. That's how you propagate sundews. I think I'll leave it off here. I guess that's more replanting sundews. I'll do a propagation video in the future. If requested, of course. Or I might do it anyway. We'll see. But yeah, it's fun. Sundews are very neat. Gotta love carnivorous plants. Yeah, that's about it. Thank you for watching. Comments, questions, concerns, queries, whatever the fuck you want to say. I don't really care. Comment down below. Thank you for watching.